welcome to the channel. Here's again another beauty, a camera. Let's look at the box first. So this is nickel plated, all these attachments. Says English make, I guess made in England. Not sure if this is the original box, though for this camera it's got beautiful this kind of stripes all over the place. Color looks like brownish, though it could have been slightly different with certain tint like green or so on, but yeah, that's long time gone. Has the original handle here. Everything in pretty much perfect condition. Stitching is beautiful. You can see like lines and then matching stitchings with patterns. Very strongly made, kind of a rigid structure. Here's holders for, I guess, a shoulder strap. That one though is long time gone. The surface of the leather is kind of, it's I think it's painted and then lacquered on top of the pattern that was printed on it. Let's open this one. So beautiful plush fabric here inside. I think it's purple violet. And basically I've tried to search for fabric like this for quite some time, new one, but the ones I found have all some artificial compounds in them, which they obviously didn't have when this camera was made. So they don't kind of feel or look entirely the same, or don't have the same backing. But yeah, very beautiful, thick stitching, thick leather. Again, quality which you can now only find in, let's say, really luxury handbags. Let's see what's inside here. So, camera and film holders. Let's take some of this out just to show us an example. So here's the film holder for this camera. Has some numbering in it. 5 and crossed, I think means it's been taken. Not sure, do these have, oh no, okay, destroyed something. So these have actual glasses inside. So theoretically I could go and try to develop these. Success rate is usually not so good. I have managed to develop some really old films, but the success rate is not terribly good. And currently I don't have a place for my film laboratory equipment. So I let them be. Of course, it's possible that whoever has bought or handled this has already opened and closed this many times, so they might be a long time destroyed, whatever image they had. Or maybe they were never taken. But since there's number and a cross, let's take a look at the other one. Okay, same number 4 and a cross. Number some 5 and a cross. They all have cassettes inside. So this one has something. They all are the same, so I assume these came with the camera. There's no brand here marked. I mean, this was kind of very generic stuff back in the day. So they still have the original glass plate film inside. Interesting. I had forgotten entirely that I had this. Might be interesting to try to develop this, but like I said, it's I don't currently have the facilities for doing that. So let's put these back inside. So these are the film holders, which actually still have film, whether it's exposed or not, overdeveloped, overexposed or not by someone opening them, I have no idea. Better keep them there. So now to the camera. This camera is Ihagee Sport. I'm not sure if the Ihagee or how it's supposed to be pronounced. There's the emblem of it, if you can see it. It says Ihagee Kameraverke. I had trouble singing myself. Steenbergen and Co. Dresden. So does it actually say Sport anywhere? I don't believe it does, but I verified this model to be the Ihagee Sport, kind of referring to the fast lens. And there's the Ihagee name with big letters. Here's the shutter. It's got Ihagee patent all over it, so it's got the numbers of how many portions of a second is the exposure. There's a table which shows you the relation to the shutter tension. There's a spring basically there, and the slit width and the operation, basically telling you about the exposure values. Most cameras nowadays have actually the same thing. Okay, electronically controlled and so on, but the same principle basically. Button to set off the shutter. There's a hole which you can put a remote controller cable, still the same connector. But let's see what else is here. Here's the viewfinder, simple flip on. The bottom has one hole with a thread for the tripod, another one to the side for portrait mode. So this is like landscape mode, and if you put like this, it's portrait mode. Handle, which is in stunningly good condition considering how old it is. Actually, this is quite a rare camera. I have not run into this very often. It took me a long while to get hold of this one. So this one isn't a common one. I believe I've seen somewhere prices of this one, and this was quite an expensive one. For one, it's extremely sturdy. Okay, this one's leather is in stunning condition. Partially with, well, if you ignore a few scratches, I would say this is almost like a new camera. Though I doubt that the camera case originally belongs to this one. So whoever bought this maybe got the film holders, or this as a package from a dealer when they bought it. And there's like this, I want this camera, and but then again, I have no idea, and there's no way I can find out, was this really sold in the shop like this, or was it per order? My guess, based on the expense and rarity of this one, I would say it probably was per order only. Okay, so here it's supposed to be, okay, we can remove the back. Okay, so let's start with this one. So here's the typical clip, which allows you to, which way around it opens is always an interesting question. I like this, okay. Ooh, I need to be careful, there was original plastic. So there you can see the viewfinder glass with a kind of a crosshair, which would have the image on of the from the lens. If the shutter was opened, and basically a hood, and basically these things don't want to stay standing, and basically a hood, so you can obstruct light, sunlight, and so on, so you have a clear image. This one is a bit dried out, the fabric, but I wouldn't be surprised after so long time. Yeah, it's on a wooden frame, not the most resilient. These corners, I believe they've actually been cut here. I've sometimes seen that done when they, I'm not sure if this is original glass, most likely it was replaced. I mean, they break easily. They can even nowadays be replaced easily. Yeah, let's look at the camera itself. So here's the rails under which the back went, and you can then take the film cassette, put it here. Again, there was roll film holders, all kind of adapters you could put behind here. There was even magazines where you can put multiple of these glass films, or like more plastic films, what we now know, cellular films, and like clunk, 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 exchange them with a lever here. I have a few of those quick change magazines. I will show them in another video. Okay, here's some serial numbers, plush for keeping the thing light tight, and this fabric looks nice but a bit shiny. Well, here you can, if you can see, there's some lines here. These show that the rubber coating on the other side to make this fabric light tight, it's basically, well, failed. So it started to dry up and it's cracked. And I believe this one most likely is silk. I actually have the exact fabric. There's a company in Japan that makes this fabric still, and or a distributor or shop or whatever, but with rubber coating, so I could theoretically replace this one. I have tried to replace another one of Ihagee's cameras with similar mechanism. It's not an easy one to do. So I'm, considering the rarity of this one, I'm a bit hesitant about doing anything with this camera, rather leave it as it is. Wooden frame, let's put this one back in place. Yeah, this one is so dry, the wood. Okay, So let's see what else is in here. So let's open the front standard. All right, here it came out. Well, this is what it looks like. And up this one. Okay, everything still fits in the frame nicely. Here's the lens. You can adjust the aperture here. Oh, this is still smooth. Well lubricated, smooth, not stuck. Very often they're completely stuck. And then let's see the focus. Interesting, the focus also works absolutely perfectly. It's so clean that I'm really thinking that this camera was either not used almost at all, because it's not broken, it's just age which has deteriorated the shutter. And you can see everything, the nickel plating, everything is absolutely perfect still here. Few scratches here and there, I mean, they can be leftovers or whatever event, but all the, it's in extremely perfect condition. This is beautiful, what do you call it? Lettering with white here, metal, leather. This is extremely well made. Beautiful metal struts here, clicks, which clicks it all in place. Here's what do you call it? The bellows. They are also almost like new. Yeah, I do remember when I got this one, I was wondering, is this completely unused camera? Well, almost. There's some stuff, there's some staining, but it can be from this metal handle. Some corrosion got stuck there. It's almost unused, or it was very well kept in its time and ever since. It has a Zeiss Tessar lens, so yes, the same Tessar which is still used today. Well, though there are now lens coatings on the lens to reduce reflections. Some modifications have been done to Tessar, but basically this is with a 15 centimeter focal length and a maximum aperture of 4.5, Zeiss Tessar. So this one was pretty much equipped with the best of the time. And based on what I've done, worked with Ihagee, or however you call this name, company, I have repaired and photographed and with some of these older, what do you call, press or sports cameras. I've worked with some of these Ihagee's focal plane shuttered, what this is actually, cameras from this era. And I have to say, at least from the more expensive range, they are extremely beautifully made. Repairing them is not the easiest thing. They have quite an advanced shutter mechanism of the time. They were really good usable cameras, really like, considering the ergonomy, lightweight, sturdiness, everything, they were a good package. The only sad thing is that in none of them the shutter fabric has survived. That's the only thing that basically went wrong with it. Otherwise, and yes, you can find a lot of these Ihagee, or how they're written in eBay with Ihagee and all kind of funny versions. I guess I'm not the only one unsure about how to pronounce it. They also made a lot of very, very cheap cameras which have still almost no value whatsoever. They were junk at the time. They were cheap at the time. Just because they also had very expensive and much fancier cameras like this and a few other models, it doesn't mean that everyone that's Ihagee or something is rare and valuable. They just are not. They were they were a very big manufacturer at the time. As a review, I can say that this is a beautifully made jewel-like camera which has survived the time. It's almost like new, which is incredible because normally, you know, when I have cameras or any old antiques or equipment, I can only imagine what it was like when the first owner held it, and the pride and the looking of the beautiful engineering and machining and the technology and everything. And this is one of the few cases where I don't need to imagine what it was like. I can feel it and see it as such. Sad thing, only I can't take pictures with it, but yeah, it's a really beautifully made camera. And I mean, if I find more links and information about prices or anything about this, I will put it in the descriptions. Thanks for watching and see you in next video.